everyone, this is Heather Pickin and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about personal goal setting strategies to make more money in your business, so stay tuned. So before I get into today's subject, do me a solid, 3 things I ask for. All this content is free on this channel. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that bell icon, give it a thumbs up, the video, because that does something to the algorithm where more people can learn about this channel, and post your comments below. Let me know what you like most about this video or some of the goals that you're wanting to set. And lastly, if you do all 3 things, especially post a comment, you will be entered in my monthly drawing to win a copy of my latest book, The La Dolce Vita Formula, A Woman's Guide to Living a Fearless and Fabulous Life. You can also go to fearlessandfabulousbook.com. Get this book in digital form for under $10. That's right, folks, $9.99. Okay, let's get into today's subject. You're watching this video because you have a business, maybe you have some clients, and you get to this point where you want to make more money. You want to go to that next level of your business, and I'm going to share some strategies that will absolutely help you. At the end of this video, I'll talk about an upcoming program that you can learn more about by getting on my wait list, but let's dive right into today's topic. So number 1, here's what I want you to do. Okay, so imagine if we're working together and I tell you, okay, think about one specific goal. Don't think about 50 million goals that you want to do in your business. What I have seen people do before they come to me, or when they first come to me, is they have 1,000,001 goals in their business. They try to do everything and nothing gets accomplished. So if you're working with me or if you're in one of my groups, one of the very first things that I do is really have you to focus down and narrow in to a couple of things that you want to focus. But for the purpose of this video, I want you to focus in the next 30 to 60 days. So take out a sheet of paper, 30 to 60 days. What is that one goal that you want to focus on in your business? Now, I've done other videos where I talked about the last book that I wrote in 30 days. That was the only thing that I was focusing on. I want you to get this. The reason why I achieved my best-selling status, writing the book in 30 days, like all of my timelines, is I laser focused on one simple goal that I wanted to focus on. Now, what was interesting is when I launched my book, I also created a system out of it. But my first goal, when I look at that goal, it was really just one goal. The goal was to write a book and then create a product out of it. And if you're writing a book, you absolutely want to do that to maximize your profits. But for this video, I just want to give you that, give you some ideas of what you can do as far as focusing on your goals. So maybe it is you want to write a book that will make you more money. Writing a book alone, I feel, is not enough. It's great for credibility, but you want to have a back end. So if, for the purpose of this video, if you want to make more money, you definitely have to have a revenue source that you can, really sustain, have a multiple stream revenue source from coaching, from products, and that sort of thing. But anyways, I want you to think about the goals. So are you creating a book that leads to a program? Are you simply wanting to charge more in the next 30 to 60 days? That could be a goal. So I've worked with clients where they were not that great at selling, and they had a mental block at raising their prices. And maybe that is one goal that you want to set. Now, I want to share a story with you. I remember I was working with a coach who told me, hey, you can charge $30,000 for this program. I thought he was crazy. And I gave myself a goal of 30 days. Actually, it happened 45 days to sell my first 30K program. And I remember at the time, I was so in my head. I didn't really have the principles that I have today, like rock solid, embedded in my head. So that's where this goal in particular it was a mindset shift that I had to make. Absolutely. And we're going to talk about that when we look at, what is the fastest way on how I can make more money in my business. Now, this video right now is not for newbies. So if you don't have a business right now, I actually have made other videos, actually one in particular, if you are a coach, if you want to be a coach or consultant, on how to build a coaching business from scratch. So you want to watch that video. I'll link it below. Okay, so number one, 30, 60 days, find that one thing that you want to focus in your business if you're focusing on making money. So 30, 60 days, and get more specific. They have found, research has found, when you set a goal, give it a time frame, right? So here's how you're going to accomplish it faster. Give it a time frame, and then you have to get specific. Okay, so the next step is, what is the product or service that I'm selling that is going to maximize my profits and my potential? Just writing a book in and of itself, honestly, is not, in my mind, is not going to work. Not to say that it can't, but I don't suggest, just if you're really wanting to multiply your income in the fastest way, I like to do a more leverage strategy where you're selling either a group program if you're a coach or consultant, or you're doing one-on-one coaching if you're looking to exponentially increase your profits. How many coaching clients do you want, in group or one-on-one? And that's what I tend to help people focus on. I've actually worked with all different types of businesses, but I've been doing that for many years, helping my clients to build 6- and 7-figure businesses. I've also ventured out into working with Fortune 500 companies and helping them, with these goal setting formulas in the context of their organization. Okay, so 30 to 60 days, you're going to set a goal. Number one. Number two, you're going to get clear. What is that program or product that I'm going to sell? Now, if you don't have a coaching or consulting business and you're selling a product, maybe you're making jewelry, then the same rules apply. What is that product that I'm going to sell? How many do I need to sell in order to make my goal? So you want to reverse engineer. If your goal in your business is to make, let's say you want to make $5,000 more in your business, or a couple $1,000s more, you have to ask yourself this question: how many do I need to sell? How many units or products or programs or services do I need to sell in order to get there? Why do you need to do that? Because your brain is an ordered seeking organism, is a GPS system. And if you give it a command, it's like writing a line of code, then it will follow the program. It will absolutely follow the program, but only and only if you have a clearly defined goal and vision. You've got it mapped out, right? And also, step number 3, this is really important. You absolutely must have the beliefs that support your goals to make money. Now, I have worked with both women and men. I traditionally work mostly with women. And here's what I found. I find that women get in their own way. Now, if you're a coach or consultant, some of the problems that I find women are having is, I feel like I'm an imposter. I have so many certifications. I have a master's degree or PhD, I've got lots of training. Maybe you have a combination of both or one or whatever, but you have experience. But the problem is that you can't put yourself out there. You can't package and market yourself out there. So my question to you is, if you have all of this training, maybe you have some clients right now, how are you going to increase your income if you have a belief that is not serving you? So the foundation, or I should say foundational pieces of my work, are deeply rooted in neuroscience, psychology, and philosophy. I combine those principles to help people, particularly women, to make that inner shift, okay? Your perception of how you see yourself, your identification of your being, is internal, which also impacts the external world. So what you can't do is just write down a goal. Let's just say you know what you want to do in 30, 60 days, maybe increase your prices, you know the vehicle in which you're doing that, maybe you have two income streams. But then when it comes down to the beliefs, and you don't believe that you can do it, guess what? It's not going to happen. That's why in my world, if you come into my world, we are not going to focus 100% on marketing. It is necessary not to negate that. But if you change your inner world, everything else around you will change. Let me give you a quick little story. I was working with a client who came to me. She was completely blocked, had that imposter syndrome, and she loved what she did. She knew she had, she had years of experience. She's actually worked with celebrity clients, but she really couldn't put herself out there in the way that she wanted to represent herself. And what was interesting is that after working with her on my specific formula that helps women to get out of their own way, really get clear, create that crystal clear vision, she was able to accelerate her goals and attract clients literally out of the blue. She didn't even have a website. And I recommend, you having a website, having an online presence, because that's the world we live in. But it was interesting because with her business, she was attracting people in her community. It was almost like glue. Now, how does this happen? How does this happen? This is an internal shift. The clients, I want you to get this, the clients were there all along. What happens when you shift your beliefs? It's like the people and resources are in alignment. Now let's take it a step further. When you're crystal clear on your goals, your vision, mission, and purpose, that's when you start elevating and magnifying everything that you want. This is exactly what I teach. When I started doing this for myself, I realized the power of getting clear, like getting out of my own way, despite what the outer world was dictating. This is how most people live, and especially women entrepreneurs. You are living in this material world where you're letting your outer circumstances to dictate every move, dictate whether you're going to invest in a coach or mentor program, right? You keep looking at your bank balance, or looking at if something didn't work out, which happens. Your business is never linear. Things will, you'll have your peaks and valleys. And if you don't know how to handle challenges, you're going to give up. So you absolutely must have a belief, an unwavering belief that you will do this. And sometimes, here's what I found when working with clients, we may map out the system and, of course, reinforce that positive belief, shift their identity, but how they get there, it may come in a different way. So you also don't want to be attached to the specific outcome and the form and how you're going to double or triple your income in the next 30 to 60 days. Maybe I'll do another video on that. And any videos you want me to do, let me know, comment below, because I really want to give you as much value as I can on this channel. Okay, so we talked about beliefs. Then the next thing you need is you need to start writing down action steps. Okay, so what you can't do is just sit around on the couch. We live in a physical world, so we must take action. We must take action, inspired action. I always think inspired action. And so you have to write down the action steps that you need to take in order to, let's just say, if you want to double your rates, what are those action steps? Part of those action steps would be reaching out to clients. Maybe you're doing some advertising. We already talked about the beliefs. So let's just say you have the beliefs down pat. Maybe you're running Facebook ads, building your list, like whatever that is. I find all too often, a lot of times women make things complicated in their business. For example, let's just say, you are seasoned, you have clients, and you have an email list. I have worked with women that have little as 100 people on their email list and turn that into about $8,000 in revenue in 8 weeks, selling higher end programs. And a higher end program starts at 2,000 and goes on up. So it really doesn't matter. I've had other clients that are selling programs for $6,000 to $10,000, and then of course somewhere in the middle. But I'm not going to get into that today. But what I really want to impress upon your conscious mind, so it gets into your subconscious mind, is that you have to know some of the action steps, writing down what those things might be. One of the things that I am including in an upcoming program is how to put this all together, how to brainstorm these action steps and discard the ones that maybe are not those right next action steps. But what you want to do is you want to get this out of your head, right? You want to literally do this brain dump so that you can organize your thoughts. Now, your brain, as I mentioned before, it's an order-seeking organism. It likes the order. It likes to take action. And it also likes to take action in bite-sized pieces. Now, the research shows that the brain likes to do what's called chunking. And chunking is basically taking small pieces of data, or in this case, information or tasks, and break them down so your brain doesn't feel overwhelmed, and you'll actually take the action. Let's put it this way. Let's just say you're going to train for a marathon. You've never did any exercise whatsoever. Maybe you're out of shape. And I said, you got to run the marathon tomorrow. Would you agree that you'd feel a little overwhelmed? You would want to start off slowly. You would want to understand what you're doing every single day. Okay, I need to run a mile or a half a mile every day. I need to increase that. I would start measuring my progress to see how I'm doing. So can you see how you got to break this down in things that are in these bite-sized pieces? This is where women they get so overwhelmed. I've helped clients launch top podcasts, get millions of views on their YouTube channels, more than me, which is funny. But I wasn't focusing on those other things. I was focusing on marketing myself to companies, doing other things, creating products, physical products. So it all comes down to what is the best vehicle for you to put yourself out there, really 1000% focus. When I have had clients come to me and they're running in 50 million different directions, what I do is I rein them in and I have them focus on that one thing that they can do for 30 to 60 days. They are so surprised. They are surprised because when you start dialing in your focus, you will make more money in your business. You absolutely will. But it's not going to happen if you don't have these steps down, especially with your beliefs. Okay, so we talked about changing your perception of how you see yourself, whether you think you can or can't, you're going to be right. So why not learn how to reprogram your subconscious mind, especially if you have a pattern of self-sabotaging yourself? I mean, here's an easy check to do. Look to see what your dominant thoughts are with respect to your business. Okay, so if you want to make more money, what is that voice telling you consistently? Is it saying, nope, can't do this? The market is saturated. Who's going to buy from me? So those are the things that you really want to rewire your brain. And neuroplasticity is very powerful. Your brain can literally remodel itself in milliseconds. I have the brain science to teach my clients on how to do that. It is so powerful. So it's really about applying the knowledge. Okay, so let's go to the last step on making more money in your business, and this is daily planning. Now, I mentioned in another video, there's something in business called Parkinson's Law, which simply states when you don't have anything scheduled in your day, when you're filling your day, or when you don't have things planned, it gets filled up with lower priority things. Okay, so if you find yourself going off on Instagram or maybe even YouTube, maybe if you're not, and when I talk about YouTube, I think YouTube is an amazing tool, but it's just random stuff, random fluff that is not in alignment with your purpose, your vision, and your setting goals. Dog and cat videos on Facebook, participating in, just crazy debates that you'll never win, trying to get your self-righteous, viewpoint out. And let's face it, Everyone has a different view of the world and how they, and how they feel that they should live or everyone else should live. So guess what? You're never gonna win that debate. So dump and delete those distractions in your life and ask yourself this question. This is so empowering. What can I do today to get me to that goal? What are the 4 things that I need to do every single day? I usually tell clients to pick 4 to 5 things. Why? Because the human brain can only really focus on that small chunk of information. When you start creating a long laundry list of things to do, have you ever done that? Where you put like, oh, here's 100 things that I want to do, or, for my day, it's like this running tally. Doesn't that feel overwhelmed? I don't do that. I have a systematic way of organizing my day where I always focus on the highest priorities, making these videos for you. I have a whole formula, a whole philosophy on how to get more done in a day and just feel like I'm completely in alignment with my business goals. So let me know what your business goals are. Drop me a comment below. Please make sure that you thumbs up this video. You thumbs up. You push the subscribe button because those 2 things do something to the algorithm so more women just like you can find this channel. I am on a mission. I want you to get this. Whatever you're doing, you're watching this video, I want to help you. One person at a time. I know I can change the world with my work, particularly women. So that is my mission and purpose. And stay tuned. I did talk about a program that I have coming up. I'm actually launching a couple of physical products that are going to be mass marketable. And also a course, if you like some of the things I'm talking about, to transform the way that you see yourself so that you could step into your vision, get out of your own way, and set your goals, actually achieve them in a way that is in alignment with who you are. And that's what I'm all about. So until next time, this is Heather Pickin, and live fearlessly.